Hey y'all, look, here we are again, live. I've got a glass of water here because someone gave me some really great feedback about how I shouldn't feel a pressure to just be talking nonstop and going nonstop. And I can and should model being rested, taking breaks. I have a number of props around me because have a number of things that I want to like reference in these first few minutes. And I also have a notebook because I was like, I might just like be inspired by something y'all say. And so I want to have my pen. Hi, okay. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Abaddon? Abaddon? Please put a phonetic pronunciation in the description box because I say it to myself every time I type, but I would love to know that I'm saying it correctly. But yeah, I'm super excited. It's interesting because like I still have these Abaddon. Okay, I'm gonna assume that's right, and I feel like I'm gonna wait like a few minutes for you to confirm that for me. Hi, Louise. Yes, awesome. Yeah, you're here on time. Because I remember last time I was like, where are you? Where's Louise? And I see you showed up, and I appreciate that. All right, I appreciate that. Yeah, I am a little bit less nervous than last time just because I know what to expect. It is kind of like a YouTube video where I am just talking to the camera, only now y'all are here too. Happy Friday, Art. Hey, Chaz. Hey, Friday with the I. One of my favorite names. Is there a backstory, Friday with the I, with that name? Hey, KDP. I like saying people's names. So KDP, if you want to say your name, I'd love to say it. Hi, Chad. Times Sarmiento. Shout out. Nikki. What a witch. What a witch. Why did you decide to start doing ASMR? I feel like it's a thing that anyone can do, but actually to do it very well, it is a skill. So I'd love to hear more about your relationship. Hi, Hunter. Hi, XRP. Kayla. Hi, Kayla. This is such a beautiful name. Wayne, is that how you pronounce that? Osa! I know Osa in real life. You're here. Hi. This is so nice. Because that's the thing, y'all. People create, and you think like, sometimes you're nervous because you think about the people in your life watching your creations. And then in reality, they be the ones who don't care at all. It'd be strangers on the internet who care. And then the people who actually know you are like, hey, girl, I'm here too. You're like, oh, it's real. The love is real, real. That's nice. That's nice. Wayne. Okay, I pronounced that right. It's the little things. It's the little things. As someone who has a name that literally is never said in pop culture, whenever I even hear like chimney in a song, I'm like, that's close enough. I gotta just claim it. Okay. So I announced this live, and like the first one, because the first one I had to just test the waters. I didn't know what I was doing. You know, if you want to fail, you fail in front of a small group first, then you can fail in front of a larger group later. So I was like, let me just see what I'm doing. This time around, I actually announced this live, and I had it as a Q&A because someone suggested that in the comments. Y'all's suggestions genuinely influence the content I create, just so you know. And no one actually posted any questions in that thread. And so I was like, will I just ask questions? I was actually thinking what I would do is I want to make this a video, is be both myself and then my interviewer, and then go back and forth kind of like in that ad I did for that ring. I think that could be pretty fun. So I was thinking maybe I would do that, and I would just like keep going back and forth with my hoodie, but I was like, that'd be kind of a lot. So I'm thinking y'all will just ask questions. Thanks, Lainey. I don't have the box on me. I did this color called Strawberry Blonde, and it kind of looks rose gold in person, and then up close, it looks like, to me, like very Thanksgiving. Like this is giving me autumn vibes because you've got the dark roots and then the orange, this is the actual color in the box, and then this is the like obviously the blonde end. So I really like it. Boy Tumelo. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Okay, so if y'all have any questions, feel free to pop them in. In the meantime, I'm gonna give you some updates on my life. The most exciting one is that my friend bought me A Course in Miracles. I have been reading this book for 3 months. I've been reading this book on my Kindle for 3 months, and it's a great book. It's got a lot of wisdom, but I really read books fast, and I like to read. So the fact that I was still reading this book, and I was like, oh, I'm making all this progress because I was 75% of the way through, and then I get this book, and I found where I was. Literally, I was like here. So I still had this much to read. And I'm like, this is thicker than the Bible. How are you going to write a book about spirituality that's thicker than the Bible? Concision, y'all. But no, I'm really glad I have it physically because it's freed my Kindle and now I can read other books. And I actually started with Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth. So if you all have any book recommendations, I can finally download them again on my Kindle. So please keep those coming. A question. What is the deep drive that keeps you creatively inspired? Beautiful question. I would say that I think it is inherent to my identity. Um, I'm reading now a new book, A New Earth, and something Eckhart Tolle talks about is that a lot of the things, like our ego and our identity are obviously, very closely linked. And so a lot of the stuff that we do, it's about defending our identity. So whether it's like color of our skin, our gender, where we live, our politics, a lot of that stuff, it's our identity. So when people attack or like challenge these things, we take it extra personally. And so I think of myself as a creative. Like that's my first definition is like chimney creative. And so because it's so key to my identity, I've leveraged my ego to reinforce something that is important to me, that I love, that I hope benefits others and genuinely is like an expression of the divine light. So tying it to my ego has been very helpful. So if you're someone who, you want to be doing creative stuff and you haven't been able to do it, I think making that switch from like, I want to be creative to like, no, I am a creative. You can't help but start moving differently to reinforce the fact that you are creative, and that means things like quitting a job and trying new things creatively, going live and, just like you keep pushing yourself because you're like, this is who I am. So it's not really negotiable. So I hope that answers the question. Neville Goddard. What is I love y'all. What is reality transurfing? What is that? Wait, is that a concept or is that a name of a thing? Because I'm really hoping that's the name of a thing I've never heard of, and y'all are about to teach me something. I hear you about the physical books. When I like downsized the first time, it was hard to give those away. And they're a lot when you travel to carry them around, but there's nothing like having a physical book. So I hear you on that, Art. I'm so excited to hear what reality transurfing is. Neville Goddard, yes, he's got Feeling is a Secret. That one was interesting because, and I actually would love to hear your thoughts on this about like the way the patriarchy shows up in spirituality. Because sometimes I wonder about like that yin yang, like those ideas and feminine energy versus masculine energy. And then when those concepts are kind of hijacked to just reinforce like women's subservience. Because that was a thing I noticed in Feeling is a Secret is lots of like, I don't know. It rubbed me a little bit the wrong way, but something he said in that book has stayed with me to this moment, which is that we don't attract what we want, we attract who we are. So if there's something that you want, are you the person where that's aligned for? And that's what you change. You don't like, oh, I want this, I want that. Who are you? And you get who you are. So that really was a pretty profound learning from that book. Okay, it's a concept and the name of a book. It's like surfing reality. Ooh, I'm excited. I've learned so much. Listen, somebody left a comment on the video I made about not getting the Adobe pitch. And it was a quote from Clueless, which I had never seen. And so I Googled the quote and then I found the IMDb like quotes page and it made me laugh. So I'm going to stream Clueless now. So truly, y'all have a major impact on my life. This is not a one-way relationship. All right. We going back and forth. Hey, Sadab. Hey, girl. Hey, Jordan. Also, when all else fails, what do you rely on to keep going? That is a great question. I think the premise is that everything else is failing. So that's like a mindset thing, is to even think like, oh, everything's failing. So that's already not a way I think. I'm like, oh, things aren't working out as expected. How fun. This is curious. And also, I actually was just thinking about this because I read something or I was introduced to some concept that talks about how I think in life, but also sometimes with creative stuff, you're like, you might have like a win and then it'll be 10 years before you get your next win. But then your next win might be huge, but you can have these really, really long spells of dryness. And I was kind of having this feeling when I got that first sponsorship, which was awesome. And then I was in the creator camp, which was awesome. And then finished the video, so that's done. And then the creator camp just ended, so that's done. So part of me was just like, what are we doing now? We just go hang out. Like, what's the? And I was thinking, like, what if this is the start of one of your spells, chimney of creative dryness? And I was thinking, first off, the hits of having a single $350 sponsored video, because I think I can talk about the money. I think that's fine. And then Creative Camp was dope, but like, a 10-week program, which was dope, but I don't think those are the creative highs that would then justify me being like, wow, things are so dry in my life right now. And so I think, honestly, I don't think I've had the success to feel like I'm such a high, that I'm at such a high where I can be like, dang, things are so bad now. Like, what am I going to do? So I think my answer to that question is I don't think I've been challenged yet, actually, in that way. And I truly hope to never be. I truly hope for only the blessings to keep coming. And I would love to hear from y'all if that's a form of spiritual bypassing, because I know that we're not supposed to only be, walking in the sunshine and the light in the garden. Like, we have to be comfortable with the darkness and the shadows and all that stuff. So I don't know if that's me trying to bypass the hard parts of life. But my understanding of spirituality is a lot of it is about taking everything as it comes, letting it flow through you, and then letting it go. So you don't hold on to the good or the bad. You just let it all come and flow on out. So that's my non-answer to your question, is that I've not been challenged yet. And my hope and my expectation is that my positive mindset in the Lord Jesus Christ will keep me from ever having to face any kind of difficulty. So we'll see how I hear that. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy, but I'm holding on to it. Brittany, Jordan, Sadem, Evie. I love the name Evie. Hey, I love being called pretty, y'all. Love it. Thank you. Okay, patriarchy, cultural norms. The thing about the Bible. Nikki. Yay, I'm so glad. Okay. Amen. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. All right. Other things I'm excited about as y'all consider additional questions. I got a motherfucking drone. This is literally, there's something in my personal life that I'm very excited about, but I'm going to share that in a future video. But this is the thing that I'm otherwise the most excited about, y'all. The content that's going to come from me having this drone, the B-roll, y'all, the B-roll. And it's so exciting because I think I was kind of at this point of, the love-hate relationship with editing was becoming more hate, just because of the time it was taking. And I think, speaking of kind of creative like lulls, I was like, it's kind of the same, you go out into a cool place, you set up your camera, different places. Usually it's me just like walking around, being silly, doing a dance, jumping in and out of frame. You do that, for a couple hours, get back into the editing booth, lay that over yourself talking. So it's very straightforward. So I'm just so excited because I feel like this is gonna just step up my content, and like drone footage is so sexy, y'all. It's so sexy. And now I'm gonna have sexy drone footage. And it really sets videos apart in such a cool way. And I just love that I now have one. Drones are so cool. And I never thought I'd have a drone, like as a concept. Like, when you watch like Black Mirror, there's all that like horrifying new technology and you're like, damn, that's scary. I don't think, I'll have one of those. And now I have one of those scary ass robot cameras that can follow people around and shit. I was a little too excited. Follow people around and shit. I tested it out in my neighborhood, but I made sure to like try to steer clear from like windows and stuff because I didn't want people to be like, what the fuck is going on in our neighborhood? And also, I am not on my sister's lease. So if they came to her like, knock, 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 who was flying a robot into people's homes? They're going to be like, girl, you got to go. You're not even paying rent. So, and I'm not going to start. All right. And my sister's cool with that. Okay. Ooh, tell me what you think of the gimbal. And if you like have found that it makes a major difference in your life. I bought a phone gimbal a while ago, and I just didn't use it that often. And with Adobe Premiere Pro, they had that warp stabilizer thing. So now I can just kind of automatically stabilize all my footage. So let me know if you think the gimbal is worth the investment. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jazz. Yeah, I'm so pumped. I kind of want to, I think I just deleted it. Because what's cool is that let me get the remote. So you set up your phone in the remote control, and then it'll actually automatically download the footage onto your phone. So for the longest time, I actually had the footage on my phone, but longest time means yesterday. I went on my first flight yesterday, but I deleted it because it was like 9 minutes and my phone is, can't handle all that. But yeah, I'm so excited. Also, I never had a remote control car. Did y'all have those when you were younger? I never had like a remote control car. It seemed cool. And so this is my first time really using a remote in this way. And it's just the coolest thing ever. Y'all, I feel like a kid. It's super duper dope. But one thing I was thinking about as I was talking, because I was saying how, my creativity or whatever was stalling, / I was getting bored with editing, but I bought this fancy new toy, so now I'm excited again. And I'm just like, wait, is this like an unending cycle where I'll always like get something new, become used to it, become really good at it, get bored by it, fall into a slump, be sad, get something new, and that's just what it is, that you're always just like, whatever, my drone's boring now, and I have to like find like a new thing. But we can cross that bridge when we come to it. We don't need to worry about it. Oh, and then speaking of other new awesome stuff, a motherfucking bike! And here's my little helmet. This is my additional prop that I was like, let me bring it near me. How cool is this helmet? I'm so excited. One thing I realized, because I've never purchased a bike as an adult, and I bought it with my sister, is that the bike literally is just the frame. So like the kickstand, the holder, the lights, we got like a little cell phone mount. All of that you have to buy on top. It is literally just a bike frame. And I'm just like, that's a scam, right? Not even a kickstand to stand the bike up. You gotta pay for all of it. So learn that lesson. And I just love that bikes are truly never gonna be like affordable again, like because of the pandemic. It's just only gonna be expensive. Those are the trade-offs, I guess. Ooh, and I was gonna get a shaved head is perfect for such a helmet. I agree. I was actually gonna get like an e-bike, like one of those like e-bikes that look like motorbikes, one of those. But it was gonna be like $2,000, and it was one of those things where I was like trying to manifest it. I was like, God, give me one of these things somehow without me having to do anything. And then I realized, like, you have money, so buy one with your money. Like, that's how you manifest it. God gave you the money to buy it. And I was going to, but something in my spirit was like, and I'm realizing it's because this is my spirit is much more aligned with this. Not only because you're actually exercising, but because I was able to buy it with my sister. And there's a lot more love in this, because the scooter thing would have been 100% just to look cool. And I'm realizing I'm so used to looking at myself when I'm on Zoom calls. When y'all do video calls, do y'all be looking at yourself, or do you be looking at other people, or do you be following the chat? Back when I used to regularly do Zoom calls, I would make it full screen, and I'd make it like gallery view. And then I would one by one click on every person's face and just stare at them. Like, I would just like stare at them. I'd really just look at their face. I look at their background, try to learn stuff about who they are. And I would just go person by person by person. So I don't know if you put your video on in your Zoom calls, but I really hope there's at least one creeper like me who is just staring. At any point in time, someone could be staring at you with complete focus. So just know that. All right, I'm gonna take a little break, take a little sip, and read these comments. Giselle got a $300 bike that folds. Okay, you better. Meet up. I love that. Someone was saying I should do one for DC, so that's definitely a thing. But I think it's the thing where it's like people say it, and then when it's time to show up, it'll be like 2 people. But honestly, that could be real intimate and real nice. So maybe I'll put a poll out and I'd be like, would y'all hang out with me? Don't be weird. Don't murder me, okay? Also, this is so dark. I'm not going to bring it up. No, I'm not going to bring it up. That's too dark. You want to manifest stuff in the world. You shot a music video with a gimbal. Yeah. Also, if you want to hang out and use this drone, let me know. I'm so excited. Like, I literally just want to like hang out with people, be like, isn't it cool? It goes so high. It goes so high. It's so dope. Lily, don't be sad you're only tuning in now. You're right on time. We love to see you. Welcome. Hey, Sherelle. Would I ever shave off my head? So the lowest I've got is a number. Is it a one? Is it a number one? Maybe you know how on the razor they have the numbers. I think the lowest I've had is a number one. I think I would look hot fully bald. But the thing is, hair grows so fast. So I think if I did fully bald, I'd only be bald for about 3 or 4 days, and then I would like grow to like the number one and eventually the number two. Like my hair is so long, so long. My hair is so long now from just not shaving the top. So I would do it. Maybe for charity? Is that a thing? Do people still do stuff like that for charity? Does anyone care? I don't know if I have enough big enough audience to do things for charity, but let me know. But I think that'd be a vibe. Whenever I think of bald, I think of America's Next Top Model, where they made people, they just put like the bald caps on and then they did the photo shoots as a bald person. But it's a vibe. And I've been really blessed with the bone structure to pull it off. So maybe just as a gift to meet myself in the world, I'll just go all the way bald at some point. How tall are you? I am 5'8". The people who are around me say that I'm 5'9". And apparently, so I've heard, I've got a banging body, all right? And you can't tell from my YouTube video. Someone's been like, you can't really tell from watching YouTube how banging your body is. And I was like, thank you. That is intentional / trauma. Arizona. Oh, dang. We're not going to go. Do you like Arizona? What part of Arizona? Is it in Phoenix? Do you think you are? Do you think living in a place that is 100 and something degrees is actually an affront to God? If God did not make it livable, should you be living there? I think the question you should consider. It's like living on Mars. We can't breathe there. Why would we try to live somewhere that literally we cannot sustain ourselves? But I was going to say, I've also heard nice things about Arizona. I'm not going to lie. I have not heard that many nice things about Arizona, but let me know if I'm wrong and I'll add it to the list. I've heard Albuquerque apparently is dope. Someone said that in one of my comments. So that's on the list now. So I'll visit you if you say it's cool. Hi, Mickey. Oh, hey. Hey, Jay. Thank you. Thank you. They said I'm a beautiful woman. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, too. Oh, you love me. I love you here. Thanks, y'all. Okay. Oh, yay. I love this for you, Jennifer. Creative, single, faith, 30. Quit job to become an entrepreneur. Yes, yes. Welcome. Welcome to the tribe. I'm trying to get up any other props nearby for things to reference. And we've been chatting for like 22 minutes. Those are all the things I have to reference. I feel like I also took some notes of things I just wanted to share. Oh, okay. So the song I've had stuck in my head is the new Lil Nas X song. Is it called Someone? I think it's called What I Want. And it's about him wanting love, as truly we all do. And I had it stuck in my head. And I was thinking like whether I would start like singing it at the beginning of the live because it's in my head. And that made me wonder, because Lil Nas X is a little divisive. It made me wonder, what level of social disagreement do you allow among your friend group? Because when I was much younger, so like a couple of years ago, when I was still really involved in politics, I was going to say politics is important, but it depends on your lifestyle. Back when I was super into it, living here in DC, and it is very important. I would not really have like friends who weren't aligned with me politically, because to me, it wasn't about like, it wasn't like, oh, I like the Ravens and I like the Redskins. It wasn't like that kind of shit. I'm like, one political group is saying that I should not live and is trying to get rid of my human rights. And then the other one is like, not really so much trying to do that. So I was just like, this isn't some cute thing that you're like, oh, I'm on this, I like red or I like blue. I'm like, one group is going to kill me. Like, I took it real seriously, And then with age came cynicism, and moving to LA came perspective. And I realized like a lot of them are like real rich people making marginal change. And there's like a whole lot of, you know how it is when you get jaded. And there's, of course, incredible value in just talking to people who have different belief systems. And you kind of realize fundamentally, we're all people. We believe what we believe because what we experience. People are, I think, in their heart, ultimately very good. And so I've kind of relaxed on that way of thinking. But some things I think are very, like, fundamental, and so when someone doesn't agree, I'm like, "Ooh, is this are we huh?" And it feels much more like for me, it's like, "Oh, this is an area for me to grow into. This is a way for me to expand the umbrella of compassion." Like, if I have an umbrella of compassion and only people who look like this and talk like this and believe this fit under it, that's not meaningful compassion. So I have to be able to love like God loves and truly, expand who fits into it. But it can be hard sometimes. You're just like, and I kind of feel like Lil Nas X brings that out in people because he's doing all this stuff that really can push certain people's buttons if they feel a way about it. Um, and I was thinking about my audience and whether I wonder how many of you all are like, he's having a good time. He ain't hurting nobody. People getting mad because they're, got their own internal things, but it's fine. Or if y'all are like, that sinner needs to stop corrupting our babies. And I'd say it's tough for people of faith, right? Because depending on your faith orientation, you might have been taught some really specific things about sin. So I'm so curious to know for you all where you all lie on that. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jess, that thing is real, not being qualified to judge. Yeah, I feel like that's actually one of my biggest like healing areas is I think I was a really judgmental person growing up. And I realized that's a self-protection coping. For me, that was a self-protection coping mechanism thing. And A Course in Miracles says something about like, if you judge anyone, you're really judging yourself, and the judgment is always guilty. Like you never judge someone, and you're like, you know what, I judged you, and actually you're all right. Generally speaking, if you're judging someone, you're casting like aspersion, and that's really you doing that to yourself. And I was like, yeah, that's probably right. So I think it's not a surprise then that as I've done more self healing, that's come with a lot more self love and a lot less self judgment. Um, R and Jennifer, y'all are not putting as much energy into politics. I hear that. Arizona is slept on. Okay. All right. I'm thinking about making an entire video where I go to Arizona and I'm like, Giselle Tech TV said that Arizona was slept on, so I'm here to see if she's right. And then maybe you could be right. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go now. Seattle. I have really wanted to go to Seattle. Someone left me a comment saying they were actually gonna be moving to Seattle. And I told them about that idea of like the Seattle freeze. And she was like, yeah, I heard about that. So Wayne, is a Seattle freeze real? Is it really hard? I've heard it's like really hard to make friends. Why is it? It's just because it's raining. People don't want to like meet up with you. Like what's going on there? But I'd have a friend in you, Wayne. So if I show up, you better don't ghost me. And then you can show me around. Mm. Mensa asks, what's your God-given talent? I love that. Um, so the way I contextualize our talents is that we are each given like the entire universe of everything. I really liked Soul, that movie where it talked about like whatever kind of sparks your soul is a thing that like you could like do in the world. But I think in reality we actually have like the entire universe. And I think the more we heal, the more we can then raise children to not put any boxes on them, and then they can explore the entire universe. It's like when you meet like a Rihanna who can sing, but she can also do fashion, and she can also, like people who can do like all the things. I think it's because we can all do all the things. It's just about whatever support system that we're born into that will let certain things be cultivated. Because I think I could do a bunch. And I'd say like, so it's like, because they're all, I actually don't know which one is like more prominent than the other ones. But communication is a skill, and I didn't realize that. I'm like, it's just talking. You just, you set up a camera, you just be talking. It's like, nah, some people, it's really hard for them. They have to genuinely practice. And I did debate in high school, so I know that's part of the reason why I can like the version of debate I did, which I think it's changed. You had like a set of like cases that you could like learn and practice. Like you'd learn like the main points of them. And then you would go to like a debate tournament, and the one you'd like basically flip a coin, and someone would get to decide who would pick the case. And then anything could be chosen. So you better hope that it was something that you had like learned about, and then you would just get up and immediately start debating it. And I think that process of like, you do your basic research, but when the moment comes, boom, talk about whatever it is you're talking about and do it in such a way to convince a teacher who does not give a shit. I look back, because when you're young, things just have such high stakes. I remember literally, I might have been like a sophomore in high school. Me and these other sophomores in high school were literally debating the Iraq War. What do we have to say about the Iraq War? When I tell y'all I got emotional, I literally was getting choked up. But war is sad. So it's not like I think that's appropriate. But if you just imagine me in high school on like a Saturday and this like very nice white lady is just taking notes as I'm just like passionately arguing, genuinely don't remember if it was for or against. Genuinely could not recall if it was for or against the Iraq War. I don't remember. I wish I could say it was against, but I do not remember. And I was getting myself worked up. And now I'm looking back like, I know that teacher was like, I'm here on a Saturday. I had to volunteer for the shit. I want to be doing other things. And this girl was crying, like, get it together. And that's, I think, the best thing about, I used to work with educators, is realizing that educators are people too. So when you look back at your memories of your teachers, you realize they had whole separate lives that were sometimes crazy. And they were coming to school and trying to teach y'all badass kids. So a lot more appreciation and gratitude. Okay, I'm gonna do a little more scrolling. Hi, Sydney. Hi, Citria. I feel like I put an N in there last time. Thanks for coming back. I think that's so interesting about not having opinions because you don't have control. Because I think that speaks to the idea of like, do we have control? And if we believe we do, then we should care. But if we believe we don't, then it doesn't matter. / if we believe we're really in like this 3D world and it's attached to form versus like infinite beings who will pass through many, many lives. But something Thomas Hebel would say, because I haven't mentioned him in so long, is that we are born into this moment for a reason. And it's because we have what this moment needs. And so our capacity to like really wrestle with some of these major social issues happening in the world, like we are only here because we can, So if we like find ourselves like reading the news and like tuning out or not being able to like, engage in stuff happening in our community, that's because of trauma. And as we heal, we'll be able to like open ourselves to more and more of that stuff. And it's only when we actually feel what's going on that we then can actually change it, right? It's like global warming has been a thing for a while now, but now we're starting to see some of the stuff start to affect America. And y'all, I feel like this is like not being talked about enough, but apparently the supply chains are really messed up. So basically around Christmas time, things don't get real crazy. So I'm warning you now that if you really want some physical properties, some material things, get on it now, because apparently the supply chains are really messed up and it's going to be kind of a shit show. And I feel like that's us starting to see, because it's so easy when it's happening over there. That other country, they really be going through it. Them other countries are really going through it. And then when it's like, wait, we have to go through it. Me? Related. I was stretching my leg out and I was literally hearing like the noise of my joints. And I was like, wait, I'm gonna get old? I know y'all was gonna get old. I'm gonna get old? I won't be this beautiful youth forever? Like my skin will wrinkle? Me? Like that don't sound right. And that's really wild. It's gonna happen to all of us. I think we should spend more time talking about that, y'all. It's not just other people. Okay, Cetria, you work in corporate retail, and I feel like it's the kind of thing where this is so grim. I'm trying to stay in the light, but I feel like it's kind of like when the toilet paper and the Clorox wipes or whatever, and that was like a real problem, and like the bottled water, that was like a real problem, and we were all like, "Come on, y'all, stop hoarding toilet paper." But we could always take a shower if things got real bad. But like when we start running out of meat, I'm gonna be like, wait a minute, I love chicken wings, like actual necessities. And I'm like, wait, hold on. This is affecting me personally. I'm really curious to see how we as a country handle it. And I think we're gonna be okay. We're gonna figure it out. Don't be mad. I'm glad you're here. The greatest love. There's no such thing as being late. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. whenever you're there, you know. Jess, you're a small business owner. You can confirm the supply chain thing. Yeah, I feel like it's the kind of thing where it would cause a genuine panic. So people aren't talking about it. But I'm just like, we should just talk about it now to prepare ourselves so we don't get mad and panic, you know, Christmas Eve. So just everyone just start spreading the word to your friends that the supply chain is, you know, a little fucked up, you know. Yes, R, get that photo printer. Get it right now. Get it right now. Dawn, listen. We can't run out of chicken wings. We can't. And also, have you ever thought about like if you ate like 10 chicken wings, that means there were like 5 birds set up. And then you were like, your wings, your wings, your wings, your wings, your wings, thanks. Like the amount of, I'm just imagining seeing all the birds I've ever eaten in front of in front of me, staring at me judgmentally, like, did you really need to eat all of us, Chimney? And I'm just like, I didn't know. I didn't know y'all had souls. Um, Also related, I watched a Swan Teal video and she was talking about the consciousness of all things and how everything has consciousness and about how like we should ask stuff if it actually wants to come with us versus like going into a store and just buying it. But I felt this helmet did want to come with me. I felt a connection to you. Um, and about how like for instance the island of Hawaii, basically everything that's on Hawaii understandably wants to stay in Hawaii. So she's even counseled people who have like taken stuff from Hawaii to like ship that shit back or like literally get on a flight and return it because that's why like bad stuff is happening to them. And I remember like maybe it was like the Brady Bunch movie or something where like that was a thing, like tiki, like Hawaiian tiki things and curses and all that kind of stuff. And it's really interesting when like certain things in pop culture, you start to see these connections way later. And I'm like, oh, and that being tied to a spiritual idea of consciousness and just like, whoa. So that has me thinking a lot more about the stuff in my home and just making sure it knows that it's loved and appreciated. I just watched Con Marie, one of like rewatched an episode and she, you know, she like will tap a book, you know, to wake it up. And when she no longer wants something, she'll like thank it and move it to the side. And one thing Thomas Hubel talks about is like everything having a purpose. So when you've got stuff in your home that is like sitting on shelves and not being used, like you're also keeping it from living into its purpose. And that's why it feels so good when you like release things and let things, you know, donate them. Like you are giving them a chance to have their purpose again. I think that's just really interesting as an idea. So I just thought I'd talk about it for a little bit with you all. Like literally, what if we could see every single animal we've ever eaten? Like every cow, every chicken, every duck. What are the other one? Every fish, just like before us. And to be clear, I'm not gonna stop eating them. But like, wouldn't it be interesting if it was like, thank you, you know? And the very first time I made a whole roast chicken, it was from Bel Campo, an organic grass-fed spot in LA. Highly recommend it. And I remember thinking, because I tore into that chicken, I remember thinking, if I'm gonna be killed and eaten, at least the person's enjoying it. So if you ever, such a dark thing to say, if you ever murder and eat me, just make sure you really love it, okay? Don't do it half-heartedly. With everything you do in this life, do it with full passion. That's my concern with going on live, y'all, is I be saying and thinking wild shit. And when I edit it, at least I could edit it out. But then if it's on live, it's just out there, you know? But I know it's fine. Y'all know my heart. And I actually can edit lives. I just am not going to because it's done, you know, it's out there for a reason. Brianna! What are you doing here? Girl, shouldn't you be working? You got today off? I want to show a picture out here, but I want to put you on blast. What are you doing in my live chat, girl? I love this view. We go way back. She's great. Brianna, I literally ate like maybe 15 chickens from Bel Campo. I'm not kidding. Because roasting a whole chicken is not hard and it's always delicious and it seems so impressive. And then you have food for like, I'm not gonna lie, this is why we don't do drugs anymore. I once smoked and I ate an entire chicken in one sitting. Like Drugs really are bad because that's some wild shit to do. Um, okay, I'm gonna do a little pause. They were so good. They were so good. She working in the background. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Sure, sure, sure. All right, I'm gonna do a little pause. I'm gonna sit because I know y'all been put some amazing content in the chat. So I'm gonna zoom up. Hi, Linda. Okay. Hey, Sydney just left her job. Congratulations, y'all. Okay. And I was debating whether or not I would talk about this. So LinkedIn is doing this thing called creative. I'm trying to think if it's worth pulling it up. It's some kind of like, let me pull it up so I know what I'm talking about. It is a creator accelerator program. If you get it, you get $15,000. Isn't that so much money? And I feel like I could get it. I read it and I was like, I feel like I could get it. But what's so interesting is their whole thing is about economic opportunity. Um, and obviously, one of my hit videos is get the fuck out of that job. Fuck that job. So I'm just like, how will we spin this? But I honestly already know how. I'm still working on it, but I already know how. And I think it's not that we don't want to work, you know? It's about having jobs and being in jobs that are misaligned to our purpose and to our spirit. Like we are given gifts and talents, and when we share them with each other, and we would like help and support and provide service to each other, it feels good because we know that we're all connected. So when we help others, we're really just helping ourselves. It feels good to help and to do things that you like to do. So I think it's really more about finding what you're supposed to be doing, not what someone told you to be doing, not what you studied in school for, so you feel like you have to do it, not what, well, this will pay me the most money, and so that's, like, what are you actually in your spirit supposed to be doing? So I think I can spin it that way. And honestly, I really feel like the Adobe experience taught me like, okay, here's how you do a good job pitching. And the feedback they gave me was like, you spend a little bit too much time talking about yourself, girl, not enough time talking about us. And so now I can literally take all the things I just learned, everything from like spend more time talking about the company to finish it with enough time that you can actually get some meaningful feedback. Like I can take everything I learned from that experience and apply it to here. And I didn't want to say this because I didn't want to and I still won't say it. Never mind. Point is, I feel really good about this LinkedIn one. I think I can actually get it. If I don't get this one, then I'll make a video that's like, fuck rejection. Actually, it's whack. Actually, people are racist. And that's why. And that's why I'm not getting opportunities. Wouldn't that be interesting if I just threw everything under the bus and I was like, you should take it personally because it's personal. It isn't, and I didn't learn nothing from this, but to get my feelings hurt and to not have hope. But no, I'm not only think I'm going to get it, but I really do believe all those things I said about rejection being fine. Aww, Osa says I'll be a beautiful elder. Thank you. I feel like that is when I would do the bald head as an elder, because that'd be insane. Wouldn't that look so cool? And then I would only wear like things like this, like I'd only wear stuff like this with my bald head, and I would be so serious and it would be so fun. And people would meet me who like knew me when I was young. I'd be like, Chimdi, why are you cosplaying being an elder? And I'm like, don't tell them young kids. They think I'm really like this. Like that would be fun. All right, y'all, we're at 43. Do y'all want to hang out for like another 15 minutes? Like make it a even hour? Or y'all feeling like I gotta get back to work? Hi, Positive Healthy Vibes. Can you tell me your name since we're like internet friends? You need to let me know because I just think of you as Positively Healthy Vibes. Yes, we should stay for the 15 minutes. Bet. Amen to being aligned and not mistreated, Sydney. Hey, 1982. So I've been pronouncing your name Mr. Slim 1982. Do you have an actual name that you would like to be addressed by? Also, how was your birthday? Let me know. And how your adorable babe is doing. Okay, Brianna says she's got a meeting at 2, so perfect. Yeah, that's really important to me, Brianna, is that we make this work for your schedule. So I'm so glad we can align that. Okay, so Tree is at work, but she's waiting for files to load. Steven! Hi, Steven. What's up? I love knowing people's names. It's so intimate. Natalie! Oh, that's such a pretty spelling, too. I love that. I like when people have something a little bit different about how they spell their name. I'm like, okay, intention. We love to see it. Working on yourself, working for yourself can be just as hard and even more time consuming as working for a boss. I hear that. And it is very fun, but yeah, the ups and downs are real. And that's what's been interesting is like living. Oh, I'm coming up on 6 months soon. So I'm going to be like doing my reflection video on 6 months after quitting. But living moment to moment is very is very uncomfortable. And so I see why many of us decide not to do it. And we're like, no, 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 I'll live in the past or I'll live for this thing I'm going to do next week. But to actually live in this moment and then do that every moment, that's intense, you know? And I feel like even with this LinkedIn thing I mentioned, like $15,000 is so much money, but I can't live off that. I mean, I can and I will, but you know what I mean? But like, that's not, if someone was like, your salary for the year was $50,000, you would not be jumping for joy. But it's because it's like, yeah, well, that'll be the next thing. And then that'll come and go. And then you'll get something else and that'll come and go. And that is what life is. But it is really, it's just not, I'm just not used to it. So there is a genuine discomfort in not feeling like even if a global pandemic could come and ruin everything and then you really are out of a job, at least you can tell yourself that you're going to have a check in a month or a year or whatever else, right? So it's real interesting. The ups and downs are real, but honestly, you do what you're supposed to do. And if I, like I said, if I wanted a 9 to 5 job, a 9 to 5 job, I would just get one. And I don't want one right now. So it'll always be there. Monet, Hey, Monet's like, we can hang out all day. I got nowhere to be. It's nice, isn't it? He'll be telling me about like they got calls, and I'm like, oh, you working for someone else? They tell you what to do. Oh, right. Like it's kind of like getting the eye surgery. It's like once you're in the new life, you like forget that some people aren't. You're like, oh, right. You other people tell you what to do, and then you do it, and then when you do it, they give you money. Got it. Okay. Got it. Okay. And then you just touch your eyeballs every morning and every night. Every morning, every night. And then when you just be blind, you just be walking around bumping into shit, just being like, this is fine. Okay, cool. Okay. That's your choice. And that really is your journey. And I love that for you, you know? I love that for you. I'm BTC with at least 15% of your gains. I don't know what that means. Let me know if I should have read earlier in the chat to understand that. Melissa asks, what do you see yourself doing career-wise in 5 to 10 years? So I was actually working on a business plan. And one thing I realized is that, oh my gosh, and my friend was like, I got to quote you. And I was like, I love being quoted. Also, you can quote anybody. Quotes don't mean shit. She said, this is something I said that she quoted back at me. She was like, this is something I said. So much of life unfolds in ways we couldn't have predicted. So when you make a business plan, you're creating this. One thing I tried to tell myself was like, you're just creating a structure for the next 5 to 10 years that you can like grow into, right? It's like, you know, plants and stuff that we grow in, the vines that grow. If you give it the like trellis, maybe is the word, it can like form and grow versus like, you know, getting modeled and like getting entwined and dying, right? So like, that's one way to think about this kind of business thing. But when I think about how much of the stuff I've gotten to experience, I genuinely couldn't have predicted, genuinely is beyond what I could have imagined for myself. Did y'all hear about how LeVar Burton doesn't want to host Jeopardy? And he says, like, if he were to create he said something like, if I were to create what I would want to do in the next like 5, 10 years, I wouldn't have been this generous to myself. And I'm just very aware of my limiting belief systems, even though I'm actively working on them all the time. I'm so aware of the fact that like there's so much stuff that I don't even let myself think I can get and don't even let myself want, because I'm like, why want things that you can't achieve, which is such a limiting belief. So when I think about making plans long term, I'm really having to confront like the parts of me that don't believe I can even get it. And that is a bummer. And who wants to do that? But also, you know, a lot of it is also realizing that like it's not that I am gonna have to manually do all this stuff. I can have these big dreams because I know that God is the one behind me who's gonna be making it happen. I can just say, this is what I want. And he's like, all right, bet. Let's like, we're gonna make it happen kind of thing. Which is to say that I have very big dreams. And I don't think they're big enough. And I'm still scared to even tell y'all because I'm just like, they're gonna be like, you dummy, you'll never get those things. And I'll be like, I just want it all. Maybe with hard work. And they're like, no, not even with hard work. Can you imagine telling someone that? They tell you your dreams and you're just like, baby, even if you tried, you couldn't get it. So you just dream a little smaller, baby. Just be realistic. Which is to say I'm still working on the healing part to tell y'all my actual dreams, but I'm gonna work on it. Investing in Bitcoin. I was talking to this person who was buying some coin or whatever, and we were having a conversation. So I was like, it's a little bit rude that you're doing something else while we're talking, but that's fine. And the person finished, and I was like, are you done buying your money? And they were like, yeah. And I'm like, that's literally what you're doing. Like, you have money, and then you buy more money. And with that money, you buy stuff. So it's just like, I just can't care enough to buy money, to buy stuff. I can just buy stuff. And also I know this stuff will make me happy. Even this, I'm genuinely so excited about this that it has brought me a lot of joy. But I already know, which is a bummer, that probably within a year, it will be like, oh yeah, my little drone. Like it's so annoying to know, but I'm just like, I will be like, yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's a drone. You put it in the sky, you get dope footage, you make videos, drones. Like, they've been around for like 10 years, not a big deal. Like, calm down. So that's so annoying. I already know that everything in this physical world will not bring me happiness. I think that's the real fruit from the poisonous tree. The knowledge of everything is knowing that like none of this shit matters and it's fine. And everything you've got in your spirit is all you need. So you're low-key wasting your time. But that feels real cynical. So we can stop talking about it. Jess is like, you'll get everything. Hey, and Mensa's like, keep God first and you'll always win. Amen. 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 Let me know if you have a name, Mensa, that I can refer to you by name. Avadan asks, what motivates you? I feel like I don't know if it's Avadan or Avadan. I know you said one of them was right. What motivates you to stay self-disciplined, to stay away from the 9-to-5 lifestyle? So this is something that Halise really helped me identify from the creator camp. She's also a cool creator on here as well, and in life, not just on YouTube. And it was this idea about like priorities, because I was talking about how truly up until like a month ago, I wanted every video. That's when I was doing one video a week. I wanted every video to be like highly produced with great editing, really dynamic, really fun, also funny, also insightful. I wanted it to be very creative, and I wanted it to I wanted it to be better than the last ones. Like somehow try a new technique or do something. Like I wanted every single video to be a marked show of growth in my own creative life, plus funny, plus interesting, plus well edited, plus so I had a lot of things I wanted. And at that time I was really trying to figure out if I could move to doing 2 videos a week. And I was telling this to her and she was like, oof, girl. And at the same time, I was also struggling with like focus. Truly, this year, I arguably now, I have videos that aren't even in focus. Basic shit, getting videos in focus. So I was asking, that was another question I asked her. I was like, so then how do you get it? Because I'd be moving around and then they'd be blurry. So how do you keep the videos in focus? So she gave me some great advice on that too. So she was like, you need to have your priority means one, which just came from another book. I think it's called Essentialism. There's a book called Essentialism. Priority means one. So you need to have your one goal. So your one goal can be having 2 videos a week. And then you get really good at that. Then your next goal can be, now they're both in focus. And I was just like, because that really hurt my heart because I really was struggling with the focusing. But just that idea of like, you decide your one goal and then you make it happen. And back when I was making 1 video a week, I would be up till 5 a.m. editing, which is ridiculous. Like I have the entire week to do it. And it's because I had all of these pressures I was putting on myself. As soon as I said, you have one goal and it's two pieces of content a week, now I can finish a video at like 10 p.m. And I'm just like, great. And that means that there are trade-offs. So I feel like even with this last video I put out, it started off being like 25 minutes and I cut it down to like 15, which is pretty great. But even on like every time I rewatch it, because I'll do like, the captions for it and stuff, I see the things that I could edit out. Like literally, I feel like if you watch that video, I have 3 main points and every point can be said in about 3 minutes. Then I say the point and then I spend the next 2 minutes repeating it. And as a viewer, I know I can feel that. And you can feel when something isn't perfect. And I could feel the way it was dragging. I'm like, should have cut out that part, you should have cut out that part. But I was like, I had a goal. It was 2 videos a week. I had to get it done. And my goal was also not to be up till fucking 5 a.m. So I was like, you want to get a good night's sleep, right? Finish this video and upload it. And so that is tough because I want every single thing to be like the best version that I can do. But I decided my one goal was 2 videos a week. And so I just do what I do to get it done. And it just puts everything in priority because like it becomes easy, honestly. And I'm shocked that now I'm making more content and it's actually taking me, like I'm more efficient. It's actually taking me less time. And I'm going to try this thing. I'm like scared about saying it because then I feel like if I say it, I got to do it. Like, y'all, I wasn't ever really going to cancel this live, but I was like, if you hadn't announced it, you could have canceled it. But now you can't cancel it because you told those people about it. So I'm going to announce this so that I can't back out of it, which is in November, I am going to upload a new video every single day. Yes, you heard it. Every single day. All right. Please don't unsubscribe because you're like, girl, there's too much content. We only went to see you a couple times a week. Every single day. At first I was like, oh, if I just create a ton of content, it'll like grow my channel. But actually, this is something I've wanted to do for a while, but I was scared to do it because I was like, what if you only do because I tried doing 16 days of Black Panther because Black Panther came out February 16th. So I was like, oh, I'll make a video every day leading up to it. And I think I made like 12 videos, something like that. So I didn't actually get it. So I was like, it'll be just like that. You'll set this lofty goal and you'll fail and you'll embarrass yourself. And I'm just like, you're trying your best. So I'm going to try because I know I can do it. And it's not that hard. And if the goal is just a video a day, I can do that. I'm not saying a good video every day. I'm just saying a video a day. Let's just get a video a day out. And the secondary priority can be like, they are good to watch. And wouldn't that be nice? But also like we know that practice is what gets you really good at something. And I had a spell at the end of last year. It was actually leading up to me quitting my job. And that's part of what contributes to burnout, honestly, was me trying to do 2 videos a week without having any of the like efficiency or priority stuff that I know now. And making all those videos got me much better at it, And what's dope about YouTube is that the process of building your audience is what allows you to have certain videos pop off, like that one about quitting my job. Because there's so many videos what people have made about quitting their job. I kind of just thought like, oh, it's because it's happening. It's so hot in the culture right now. So if you just make a video about it, it'll just kind of blow up. But that's not the case. Like only certain ones have blown up. And it's because you have that base of people who already fuck with you. And then they'll watch your video immediately when it comes out. And then that'll get the algorithm to like keep shooting it out. So I'm just like, this is good foundation building work, So, okay, we've got a couple minutes left. I have not scrolled down. Let me do a little look. November, thank you. It's a good month because during the holidays, thank you, Satria. Thank you telling me it's not a failure. Let's do the math. Let me know if you have a name and I can name you. Thank you for being here for the daily videos. You rock with me anyway, though. I know, be cool. You support me and I appreciate that. The only thing we're good at is failing. Steven, I feel like we need to have some words. I feel like we need to have some words, all right? I feel like there's a real cynicism to your outlook, all right? And I feel like we should really unpack that. And I feel like you disagree about how trauma is the foundation to a lot of our behavior and coping mechanisms. And I think the fact that you think that is trauma, but arguably, I am not a licensed anything. And so I really can't be speaking. Literally, all I do, y'all, if you really pay attention, is I read books and I'm like, I read this thing. And I just regurgitate whatever it is that I read or watched. But I think I am good at like synthesizing. Like I'll pull this idea and I'll pull that idea and I'll put them together. And that hopefully creates something of wisdom and value. But really, y'all, I just be reading books. I got time. I just be reading books. All right, Stefano. Yeah, that's a great name, Stefano. Where are you from? I feel like that's got a little flavor. It's got a little flavor to it. Hey, Melissa, what you talking about? You learn to hold yourself accountable to creating art by posting on social media because then you have to finish a yeah. When I was on remote year, I had a once a day Instagram goal for myself. And yeah, when you have to come up with something to post, you're gonna make it work. You're gonna figure it out. And that's also what I'm excited about because I kind of had this idea and I was kind of, I was on the like the fence about it. And then God truly kept sending me things that were like affirming, like, yes, girl, not only can you do it, but it's gonna be great and it's gonna be good. Oh, we're at an hour. Okay, I'll wrap up with this anecdote then. And so I was watching Evelyn from the Internets because I was listening to that so Halise did a podcast. It was a dope podcast with his artist. And he talks about similarly having like a goal for himself, just like constantly be creating because that process just gets you really good, right? And she mentioned this thing called Veda, which is vlog every day in April, I think. And I hadn't heard about that. I heard about Vlogmas, and there's this one YouTuber who does Youtober, where she does a video every day in October, but I hadn't heard of Veda, so I Googled it. And Evelyn from the Internets came up, and so I just started watching some of her videos. And I have seen Beyonce live. I saw the Formation tour, and in that tour, she uses a clip from Evelyn from the Internet. So I saw that first. Like I was in a Beyonce show, and I was like, and I recognized, I was like, that's Evelyn from the Internet in this Beyonce show. I go on Evelyn's channel. The video she made that got her featured on a Beyonce world tour, I don't know if it was a world tour, but I can only presume, was made as a part of her vlog Everyday April. So because she pushed herself to vlog every single day, that led to her having this insane like exposure opportunity and like to have Beyonce watch some of her stuff. So I feel like it's not even about the videos you make every single day. It's about setting yourself up to be open to all the amazing things that can come from you putting yourself out there and pushing yourself to create, So that really got me motivated. Like, not that I think any of my videos be featured by Beyonce if I do this, but just this process is inherently a valuable process. It's going to be really interesting. I'm going to learn a lot. And I think there's a good chance that if I make 30 videos, one or two of them will be very successful. If I can't get one or two successful videos out of 30, then, there's even more healing and learning to do. All right. We chatted for a whole hour. Okay. Your granddad was Italian. Your great granddad was Italian, but you're Dominican, Venezuelan. You're born in Florida. Oh, wow. That is a life. That's so dope. I love that. Yes, Jada. Dawn, how do I define success? Meeks, love the sit down videos. Love to see that in November videos. Dope. I just watched this actually super dope video, and it's interesting because I cut this part out. See, I was having some restraint. I cut this 5-minute tangent out of the last video where I talked about this video I watched where the guy defines success as meaningful progression towards an ideal. So I think it's like marked progression towards a meaningful idea. So if you set yourself a goal and you are making regular progress towards it, you are successful. So that really resonated with me because we know we never arrive. / everything we do is just to be more present in this moment. And also my sister just came in from the balcony. So I think that's a good sign for me to wrap this up. She's gonna be making an appearance on this channel, by the way, just not right now. But I got a video with her coming out. I think it's going to be real good. No spoilers, though. All right. This has been fun, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. What a delight. Let me know any reflections you have in the comments. I turned it on where you can see the live chat later. So if you watch this again, you'll see yourself showing up along with the conversation. Thank you so much again, y'all. Let me know, any reflections, any feedback. I love it. Have a beautiful Friday. Have a beautiful weekend. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.